Greetings, everybody. Welcome here to the Prog Monster. This is a show that we talk about progressive rock and other forms of rock music. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, and we're here to talk about an episode that we do every week called This Week. So what is This Week? So this week is a show where we talk about what the content of the channel will be for this week, the various shows, the current series, the series that's going to be starting this week, any stuff that may be in the future that I think I may wish to discuss today. Also, anything that may have happened in the past that needs correction or needs to be talked about. So we're going to start, we'll go back to the past first and work our way forward. There's really not much in the past. A few shows were a little bit on the late side, mostly because I was, came home from work. It was a busy week actually, and didn't have as much time as I needed to prepare the episodes, so we hopefully will overcome that this week. And so that's it. There's not really much else to say about it. On to the channel content for the week. So the next show out, so normally this is the first show, although technically we did have an episode of the current series we're running, which is 30 bands that I have really yet to follow. So that series is running its course now, so it'll be today's was the second last episode, and tomorrow will be the final episode. I'll probably end up giving some honorable mentions to some bands as well. That may or may not happen, I'm not sure, but that will come out tomorrow and end the episodes for the series for September. The current upcoming series will be the one for October 31. Favorite albums from 1982. So I picked 1982 because for me it's kind of the pinnacle of that golden age era for me, which lasted from 78 to about 82, 83. 82 being the more dominant of the two, and then after that I kind of started to drift away. Not right away, but kind of throughout the 80s I kind of lowered my intake of rock music, and by the 90s I was pretty much out of it, other than some of the classic stuff that I used to listen to that I had CDs for or cassettes for. So anyways, that's why I chose to do this year. I think it's one of the great years in rock for me anyways. There was quite a bit of stuff that came out that I liked a lot. So we'll be doing my 31 favorite albums for that month for that series. So having talked about those two particular things, we're now going to talk about the content shows that we normally do every week. I will need my glasses for this, however. And the first one out of the book, out of the gate, which is Commonalities Compared. This is a combination show in which my subscriber Ben came up with this idea, and we discussed it and came up with a format for this particular episode in which I discussed two commonalities that he has given me that are rock commonalities. Now, in the past, we've done rock bands, we've done albums, we've done album covers, we've done producers, we've done guitarists, we've done vocalists, and today we're going to do two more bands. The bands we're going to do is Slade and The Sweet. These are two bands that got a lot of similarities between them. Sweet is actually a band I followed fairly well. Slade, not so much, but we'll be talking about them for tonight's episode, which will come out at 8 o'clock, which will be called Commonalities Compared. The next episode will come out Monday afternoon. Probably I will do it late on Sunday and release it for the mid-afternoon on Monday, which is new albums purchased. I do this episode once a month. Every month, at the end, the last day of every month, I talk about the new albums that I've purchased or new purchase that are related to the channel. A couple times I've talked about other stuff other than just the albums. So anyways, that will be the new albums purchased. It will come out Monday at 12. The next episode up will be Tuesday, or actually a Monday as well. Monday's look back at a classic rock album. And I've got my little props here for that one. We're going to be doing, this is the Wooden Nickel Collection the 4 wooden nickel albums. We're going to be doing this album, Sticks 2. That will be the album features here for a look back at a classic rock album this week. I wasn't going to actually do this album, but it's grown on me a little bit more as time has gone on. I didn't initially think much of it other than, obviously Lady, which was the big hit on it. But the album's grown on me a little bit. I'm currently listening to their 3rd studio album and working my way through the entire wooden nickel collection. So we will do a look back at a classic rock album on Monday at 8 o'clock featuring Styx' 2nd album, Sticks 2. Okay, next up on the agenda, we're going to do another 5. Yeah, we did a 10 last week. We're going to do a 5 this week. It's going to be 5 more albums that I have that have incredible instrumentation. We did one. The first one came out a few weeks ago. I decided that there's enough. There's enough to do a bunch of episodes, but we're going to do at least a 2nd episode. So 5 more albums that have great instrumentation on them. And that will be come out, of course, on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Oh, sorry, I skipped the number 2, so we'll go back and do number 2 now. Not number 2, the Tuesday night album, which is Nomads. Nomads was supposed to be before this, but for some reason I jumped ahead to favorites. So Nomad, we're going to feature Barrymore Barlow, another one of those great nomads who's been all over the place and done lots of stuff. I like Barrymore, or Barry Barlow if you prefer, because of his great drumming with one of my favorite bands, Jethro Tull. So we're going to be doing him for Nomads this week. So jumping ahead now, we're going to skip favorites because we already discussed that and go to ranking the songs off an album. So this is a episode that I do bi-weekly. So I have albums that weren't quite what I hoped for, which comes out one week, and then this album, this particular topic, ranking the songs off an album, which comes out the other week. So this week it's the ranking the songs term. The album I've chosen to do, I thought I had done a ranking for this band, but I think I actually did album side. So we're going to do Led Zeppelin 4. This will be either kind of a tough one. There's a lot of super strong songs on this album, so it'll be a little bit difficult to rank. I'm not even quite sure how I feel about them until I actually get down and think about it. So this will be the ranking of the songs off an album episode, which will come out Thursday at 8 o'clock. Next up is ranking the albums. This is another series that me and Ben put on. He came up with the idea, and he also is also giving me the bands for the ranking. These are bands that he picks from his vast collection. He tends to like to pick a little bit more obscure bands, ones that aren't known as well. Lots of the albums are maybe not mainstream or not known as well. The odd band gets thrown in there that we do know. For this list, he's going to be going with Warpig, John Entwistle, of course, bass player for The Who, The Gods, and David Gilmour, guitar player for Pink Floyd. So we've got a couple of well-knowns here and a couple of maybe not so well-knowns. It'll be interesting. Always interesting to listen to what he gives me. So we'll be doing that for ranking the albums, which will come out Friday at 9, usually a little later for the Friday one because of work and getting home, and it takes a little bit of time to put that one together. So the next episode that will come out is a new episode that we're going to start this week. I did get my main computer back from my friend who'd been storing it for me for a while until I found a permanent residence, which I am now in. I got that back last night, so I am looking forward to using this computer. It's a vastly better computer, I think. And we are going to do a live stream starting this Saturday. I'm going to go a little bit earlier so that I can capture some of the... Sorry, something on the screen there. Some of the other world or the other part of the world people, because we do have quite a few people from especially Australia that follow this channel, and so I'm going to try to do this a bit earlier. I probably could done it a lot later too, but because I chose Saturday is not the best of days for that later stuff. So I'm going to attempt to do the live stream probably around 9 or 10 in the morning. Haven't really 100% decided yet. I will probably likely go with the 10 o'clock start. If that doesn't really work out, we may do some other ones. We may switch it around until we find a time slot that works best. And it's going to be a version of the series that we were running called Into the Progverse. But it's basically going to be a live stream. I'm going to pick a topic. The topic that we're going to use for this one is Rush. We're going to be talking about the band Rush. My favorite bands. Seems the smart way to go when you're starting something new, to go with the one you most know stuff about. We'll be talking a bit maybe about their albums, the band members, a little bit about their history maybe what might be in the works for the remaining members of the band in the future, those kind of things. So it will be a live stream that will come out Saturday morning this week at 9 o'clock, and we will adjust the time for the following episodes if it seems necessary to do so. Okay, and then of course we will have the final episode of the week, which is What's New, featuring this week. We're going to be featuring Ellesmere and their Strange Skies album, which came out back, I think it was back in January. I kept putting it off because you can only do one a week, and I picked others. I decided that it's time to do this one, so we're going to do that one for an 8 o'clock release this Saturday coming. What else were we going to talk about here? Now I forget. Oh, yeah. So there will be, of course, the new series, which will start in October. We'll run the length of October, so 31 favorite albums of 1982. This will be actually kind of tough for me. There's a lot of albums that I quite like, but I don't own. And because I don't own them, I tend to steer away from those. I may have some of them in here that I don't own, but I'm not going to have a bulk of them. Mostly the reason I don't own them is because I had them all in vinyl at one time and gave my vinyl collection to my sister, as so many people already know. As to the future, we will be doing another series for the month of December. I'm in the process of putting that series together. I may actually do a mini-series as well, but we're going to run the one current mini-series we're running, which is Nomad. We'll run that one out first before I actually decide on if I want to do another one of my own or continue with the stuff that Ben has. He has quite a few stuff. I'd like to get as much of his stuff on here as I can, as long as he's willing. It's good to have different approach points, otherwise it just gets kind of static. So that's it for this episode. This week is finished. I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Those are much appreciated. Hit the notification bell above your head there, or above at the top of the screen. And if you have any comments, you can put those in the comments section below. I will try to answer all of them as honest as I can, without giving away stuff that I want to be a little bit more surprising. That's basically why I said it that way. So anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this, and we will see you next Sunday for another episode of This Week. Take care and have yourself a great week. Goodbye.